Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Tzi Ma, and thanks for having me. And it's really great to hang out with Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your boy Galaxy on another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Today, we have a really cool dude in the studio. I've been watching this gentleman on the big screen since I was a young lad, and he's been in a bunch of my favorite movies. He has that familiar face that you all are wondering, hey, I've seen you everywhere. Today, we have the wonderful Tzi Ma on Comic-Con Radio. Tzi, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
That's wonderful. I hope it's not like a test or anything, is
No.
it?
No. You're actually a very funny guy. You know, I was chatting with you off air, and I was like, this gentleman's funny, but you always play these very serious roles in the movies.
You know what? It's kind of interesting because I started out doing theater in New York, and my first few plays were all comedies. But people forget it. It's just like, it's been a while, so nobody remembers. It's all good.
It's all good. You know how I can tell you're humorous? Because around your eyes, it's very kind-looking eyes, and I noticed that, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So you're from Hong Kong.
I was born in Hong Kong, yes.
You were born in Hong Kong.
Raised in New York.
Raised in New York. And
that's right.
And you did theater there. Now, for a lot of people, they don't know the difference between mainland China and Hong Kong. Is there a big difference?
Huge. I mean, mainland China is a communist country. Hong Kong, for the longest time, for about 150 years, was a British colony. So really, if you go to Hong Kong, you kind of feel like you're in the UK. So those are the major differences.
Of course, and that's what I want people to know, because Hong Kong's really cool, beautiful, very different, and very expensive.
Yeah. You know what? I'm telling you, yes, it is, but you can always find places you can afford, and places you could eat that you can afford. So Hong Kong is really kind of this kind of spectrum that's, because the standard of living, for these guys over there, they don't make that much money. So they have to make it work somehow, right? So there are places where you can go that you can afford. I mean, and there are places that are really expensive that you cannot afford. So it's all good.
It's all good in the neighborhood. And then you went from one busy city to New York City, which is an extremely busy city.
Yeah, I mean, Hong Kong is a city that truly never sleeps, and New York is pretty close second to a city that never sleeps. It sleeps for maybe 10 minutes.
Did you feel at home when you went to New York?
Yeah, I'm an urban guy, I mean, I love the big city, and that's where I belong, really. I mean, if you put me in the countryside, I'm good for about a week, then I have to leave. So that's just in my DNA,
That's your
I
DNA.
mean, I love the peace, and quiet, but for about a week, then I really need to get into the hustle bustle of things. My pace is a little faster, So really, cities like New York, cities like Hong Kong, Tokyo, London, Paris, these are the places that I kind of thrive. So
you love those cities. They're thriving.
Yes, the energy.
Gives
Yeah,
you
the energy, people intermingling, chatting and talking about everything in the world. Everybody's really like quick to pick up things, and it's kind of fun,
That's pretty cool, man. I've watched your career for a long time, and I've seen you in movies here and there. You've had amazing roles, but the movie that really got my attention towards you, Tzi, was Rush Hour, and I was like, hey, this dude's cool. That was like one of my favorite roles.
Thank you very much. Rush Hour is a really special film, obviously. If you look at film history and what Hollywood makes, it's like the first time that you have an Asian and African-American lead, in a film. Normally it's kind of salt and pepper, like the Lethal Weapons, even like I Spy back in the day, but this is the first really big Hollywood movie that actually had an Asian and an African American lead together. And look what it turned out, right? I mean, you figure this movie only cost $35 million to make and made $130 million. Isn't that cool?
It's a lot of change.
I'm telling you, man. It's a lot of breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, recently, too, you were in a great movie called Skyscraper, and you're going to be in the up-and-coming Milan coming out in 2020.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. March 27, 2020. You all stay tuned. The teaser's out, so you can check that out on YouTube. And I think it is playing in front of the Lion King. And I'm sure the trailer is going to come out pretty soon. Maybe September, October. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Milan's a big, huge movie.
Yeah.
Your role's going to be amazing in that, so we can't wait for that to come out. And that's cool that these movies are being remade, but more in like a realistic form now. So it's like a whole new medium that's coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's another movie that's not like any other that came before it, right? Because Mulan is going to pretty much follow the legend of Mulan as opposed to the animation Mulan. So that's exciting, that you're talking about, really, having a pretty much all Asian American cast, right? In a huge budget film that's close to $300 million. So in some ways, it's kind of like, you feel like you're validated, that you're legit now, right? Instead of like working in all these films, where the budget is so low you can't even get a cup of coffee, So in that sense, it's kind of more fun, to be able to go and do something like that. And it's really a sign of the times, right? I mean, so I think we came a long way.
Asian Americans has been in America for a long time, and
yes.
This should have been done decades ago. But with that said, you're in another all-Asian cast TV series that just launched called Wu Assassins. So it's like you're making history, man.
I would consider this a movement, right? So let's hope this is a long-lasting movement. So the Wu Assassins, it's predominantly Asian American cast. Not all, but it's the first time, really, Netflix ever done that, which is kind of like, hey, wait a second. Is it really true that Netflix is like first one? And if you look back and say, oh, yeah, that's right. This is the first one. So in that sense, I'm excited, right? I mean, anytime you're able to be the vanguard of something, that you're taking the lead, you're like, the advancing troops, in the front lines. It's always kind of fun, right? I mean, and what's crazy is that it's the excitement of it. Even when you don't even like kind of know it when you're doing it. And then after the fact, and everybody's like, hey man, dude, you're the first. It's like, all right, I like that. It's good to be first.
Well, you deserve it. You've had a long history in Hollywood. You've been in so many movies. And you're right on Wu Assassins. It's not an entire Asian American cast. Yeah. It does have Tommy Flanagan and Catherine Winnick from Vikings.
Yes.
So, but still, majority, 98%.
Yes. Absolutely, yeah.
So,
and those, I mean, hey, please, with those additions, how can you complain, right?
Well, what is Wu Assassins for people that don't know? I know what it is, but what for them out there, what is Wu Assassins about?
In a nutshell, Wu Assassins is a martial arts supernatural crime drama. That's the line everybody's going to look at. And it's got, and if you're a martial arts fan, if you're an action fan, you're going to be in heaven. And if you're into sci-fi, the supernatural, you're going to be in heaven. So really, that series, it encompasses these two things, that everything about it, it's got this kind of mystical and fast-paced, and the fighting is just phenomenal. I mean, obviously, you have one of the best fighting ensembles, ever put together. You have Iko, right? You have Louis Tan, you have Juju Chan. I mean, and Catherine Snow Slouch. Come on, man, she could bring it too. So you got all of these guys who are just live and breathe action, And if you see some of these fights, man, I don't know if there's a slow-mo, that you can do on Netflix, but you might have to slow the action down because, Iko always, I mean, the dude is like lightning fast, I mean, you can hardly catch some of his moves. So you might have to go back and forth, just to catch all the intricacies of this fight. It's really complex, right? And it's so beautiful. I mean, the martial arts it's like they really elevate the art in the martial arts. So that's what gets me all excited, about being part of this. And the fact that, well, the other good thing is I don't really have to do it, so I get to watch all of this stuff.
So you get to watch it, look at it, see all these other guys jump around and kick each other and punch.
That's right. They have to go to the masseuse, they have to, soak in the ice bath, and I'm just sitting there going, that's really good. I just sit back and applaud, man, and that's it.
Well, with your history and the projects you've been part of, do you get a different, I know your opportunities are there, but do these like younger and newer actors look at you like, wow, I'm working with Tzi Ma? I know you don't see yourself that way, but do you feel that sometimes?
I think so. I think that there's definitely the opportunity to say that Tzi Ma's got some story to tell. So, I mean, if nothing else, at least I could tell a couple of stories from experience. And I think that there's a sense, particularly with the Asian American actors, they absolutely, because they're in the business and coming up, you have to watch somebody, right? So I guess I was one of those guys that, they're able to watch growing up. So in that sense, I'm not quite sure, I should ask that question because I'm not quite sure how they really feel, when you sit in the same room with somebody.
You want me to tell you how they feel? Let me tell you. And I asked you that.
Okay.
And I know it's hard to answer this. We have, some Asian American staff here, and they really love you a lot. Like, it's like a big deal for them. They're like, he was in this, and it's groundbreaking, and it like opened doors for this and that. And like, I know Jackie Chan and all those guys open the doors for martial arts, but as far as drama, they really love you in that sense. And that's why I brought that up. I was like, do you feel that? Because if you don't feel that, you should feel it, and you should notice that sometimes.
Galaxy, thank you so much, man. That's really, really sweet, and it's very touching. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You got it. You got it. And I think to add to Wu Assassins and these new Asian American full cast shows is another show. It's called The Terror, and it has a huge Asian American cast as well. Yeah,
you know what? I have not had the time to see the show, but I hear really good things. And I know people in the show, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that show once I finish all the press stuff for Wu and the farewell, and I'm really looking forward. Have you seen it?
I saw a couple of episodes.
This is on AMC, right? Am I right?
Yeah, it's on AMC.
Yeah, exactly. Once I get back into town and get a chance to breathe, I will definitely tune into that show. I'm really excited about it.
And I like how things are looking and going. So, I know you worked with Jackie Chan. How was it when you first met him and worked with him?
Jackie's a hoot, man. I mean, here's a guy who really enjoys every second of what he does, right? I mean, when he walks onto a set, he's thinking about how do I use the set to do all the stuff that people, see, that is so amazing. I mean, this guy is like, everything he looks at is a move. Everything he looks at is some kind of a fandango, with another person or a furniture piece or, dropping down from the ceiling of the LA Convention Center and how do I get down to the bottom. And, he is a consummate professional. Man, I tell you, he thinks about this every waking moment of his life. That's how amazing he is, and so personable, so humble. You always have a kind of a conversation with him. It's like having a conversation with you. It is just regular, down to earth. I can't say enough about this man. He is so amazing in that way that he's such a good human being, And one, if you think about it, he says, I could do all these fights and be mean and be, brutal and violent, but I really want to bring a smile to children's faces. That's why I do the way I do it, So you understand his philosophy. So that's why you see his move, all of his martial arts is really coming from a really kind of a more looser, fun place, where he doesn't mind being the butt of the joke. Because at the end of the day, you're just going to be amazed at what he does. So I love this guy. He's really cool.
And even though at his age, I've seen him in some recent movies, he's still doing some crazy stuff.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's because he's so well trained. This guy's been training since he was 8 years old. I mean, on any given day, he'll drop down on a split without him like thinking about it. And I'm looking at him warming up, going, man, I feel the pain already watching you warming up. So, like I said, he's a consummate professional. He's always, training, working out, and, watches his diet, and stuff like that. It's really, wonderful to witness somebody that does that. I'm not as disciplined as Jackie, because I'll eat anything. I mean, so that's something that I got to work on. I mean, but Jackie, yeah, he's a pretty special guy.
Hey man, that's you're you, he's him, and but it's cool that it worked out and it was perfect on screen, and it's really cool the experience you had with him. Another cool movie that I really liked you in was Lady Killers with Tom Hanks and J.K. Simmons. Your character, the general on that, was so funny. How was that experience?
Thank you. Oh, man, I tell you, knock on wood, I'm just really one of those lucky guys that have an opportunity to work with some amazing people. The Coen brothers really, as a directing team, is already kind of crazy amazing. Because do you have any siblings?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Now, tell me, do you ever fight with them? Your siblings, right? I'm one of 7, okay? I fight with my siblings all the time. Give us 10 minutes, we'll be in an argument of some kind. With Joe and Ethan, not one single disagreement in 3 months that we shot together. Wow. How rare is that, right? And they're so well prepared as directors. They involve the entire cast in every step of the way. What kind of clothes you're going to wear? What kind of material would those clothes be? What color? Are you going to have facial hair or not? All of those fine details, you're making these decisions together as a team. I don't think I've ever been in that situation where costume designer, makeup artist, hair, director, and you sitting in the same room, building this character from the ground up, right? That's already, you're putting in an environment where you're a creative participant. You're a creative contributor. If you ask any actor, right, this is what they want to be in. Somewhere where they'll always be part of this whole creative atmosphere. And then you add everybody else around it. You have a Tom Hanks, J.K. Simmons, Ryan Hurst, Marlon Wayans. You're talking about a group of guys who is really serious about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And they're so committed. And when you have that kind of an ensemble in the same space, it's so kind of fluid, You don't feel like there's anything there's no bumps on the road per se, right? So you have that kind of synergy that makes art, and that's really exciting, right? And all of these guys are in so many ways friendly to each other because they're good human beings. I don't think I've ever been on a set for 3 months that we hang out in a parking lot together, as friends. As if, we were sitting in somebody's backyard. So that's special, right? You're talking about, and that's chemistry as well, right? And you have to give credit to the Coen brothers where they are able to, put together this ensemble, right? Where we all got along, we all appreciate each other. And those are the beauties of being in a working situation where every part of the machinery is well oiled and well tooled and all in sync. So it's kind of crazy, to talk about it in those terms, because it's kind of it's a little more scientific, but man, it's a lot of fun to do it because everybody's a goofball, so and everybody's a practical joker. So really you have that element, where the set is kind of loose, and then, but well organized. We never had more than a 12-hour day, unheard of in this business. So everybody, comes into work at 6:30, go home by 6:30. You have a happy crew. If you ask any crew, right, any gaffer, any grip, do they ever get to go home and have dinner with their family? They'll 9 out of 10 will say never. That those 3 months, 6:30, everybody gets off work, they get to go home and have dinner with their family. They come back happy. And that's the kind of set the Coen brothers run. It's just man, if this happens on every set, shoot. Every job, man, I'm telling you, just line them up, man. Let's go.
I liked your shades and mustache in that movie. It didn't even look like you. You looked so different. I don't think if people really know you as an actor, they wouldn't recognize you because you played that role so funny.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to this atmosphere that Joe and Ethan create, So from the haircut to the mustache to all the props, I mean, it's like amazing. And I was wearing all my stuff was raw silk, So there's a reason for that too, because he's a tunnel rat, and everything's got to be smooth, He can't have a wrinkle in his shirt because he needs to get somewhere in the most efficient way, in the quickest way. So, and he doesn't want to make noise. So all of these things are just,
the way, huh?
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's a reason for everything. So,
well, that was a great movie.
Yes, thank you.
It's a classic. Rush Hour is a classic, but you're in another movie coming out this year. Actually, it came out in July called The Farewell. How was that? Because that seems like a cool movie as well.
Yeah, The Farewell, it's my first movie that's shot in China. I mean, a lot of people think I do a lot of work in China.
New Yorker.
Don't. I mean, yes, and the fact that the first film I ever shot on location in China. So that was a first. It's really kind of interesting because we were shooting it at the filmmaker's hometown. Lulu grew up in this town called Changchun, which borders North Korea and Russia, and it's also known as the Detroit of China. So all the cars are built there as well, right? So being in that town was kind of interesting. And Awkwafina and myself are the only SAG actors that were in the cast. All of the cast was from the mainland, from mainland China. So that was a first. I've never worked with a predominant mainland China cast, right? I didn't know what to expect. But to my surprise, these guys are wonderful. What's interesting is that they're really respectful, to the director. They never call Lulu by her name. They were always a director. They will always address her as director. Here, we're a little loose, right? And say, yo, what's up, right? I mean, yo, Ethan, so, but in China, man, they don't do that. And knowing that, because I'm kind of older than, a lot of the cast members, they never address me by my name. They always call me Master Ma. I'm going like, really? Ma Shifu? That's what they would call me. I said, wow, I like the ring of that. That sounds pretty cool.
You're like, I gotta do more movies
really?
Here, huh?
Exactly, man. Let me go back to China and shoot some more because, they really have this kind of respect, for people who are older. So this film is a little bit about that. The film is a little bit about, kind of respecting the elders and how do we make sure that whatever they're going through, will be the easiest way for them to get through it. So in that sense, it's really inducive to working because the environment is set in such a way where it helps your film environment, which is the same thing, So a lot of times, I think if we would have shot this film in the States, in America, maybe the tone would be a little different. Because we handle things differently, the crew's a little different. I mean, in China, all the crew, they have the same kind of attitude. If you're an older person, they almost like it's obligatory where they have to kind of give you the respect, right? Which is kind of interesting. And, it's just that when we do things here, we're just a little looser, a little more equal. In terms of treating each other. I mean, we don't go out of our way to kind of go, calling somebody master. I mean, it's just kind of weird, man, to say master. It's like, okay, what am I? I'm not sure. But in any case, I think The Farewell, shooting it in China, really set the tone for the movie as well. So.
Well, it was
we're really proud of that film. Yeah.
It got a lot of attention. It scored like 99% in some critics and
Rotten Tomatoes.
very amazing movie. And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
did that change your mindset of wanting to film in China more? Because you probably turned down a lot of projects in the past. Did this push you towards there more, or no, it's every now and then thing?
Yeah, no, well, it's because it is different, you know. China, they don't rest. They shoot. They work 7 days.
Oh.
So it's because, yeah, I know that's kind of crazy. But since Aquafina and I are SAG actors, so you cannot work 7 days. I mean, we're allowed to work 6 days overseas, but not 7. So the crew was really grateful that we were part of the cast because they get a day off, right? Because we're practically in every scene. So if we're not working, nobody works, period. So that made it easy, right? And as far as accommodations are concerned, you know, there are no trailers in China. So it's something kind of weird to get used to. But the producers were great, you know, on the film because they find locations that are basically hotels. So most of our locations were in some kind of hotel. So they were able to get us each rooms. Otherwise, you know, you're kind of stuck. You know, where you going to hang out? Like, you know, just chill out a little bit or you know, you close your eyes or
get your
you know,
mindset
prepare
ready
for
for
the
the
scene.
next scene.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I don't want to have to work so hard in that respect. You know, I'm too old for that shit, man. Sorry. You know, I mean, if you're 25, by all means, go to China and work, man. God bless you. You know, knock yourself out. But you know, for me, nah, I think I mean, it really have to be a phenomenal project. Otherwise, it's a little bit harder to work over it for me.
Well, you know, they don't have SAG and they don't have all these like guidelines or things.
No,
you know, holding a barrier over them. And
exactly. Mm-hmm.
So they're like, work 7 days. Let's shoot this for like $2 million. In the States, probably this movie would have cost like triple the amount. Maybe you think?
Well, I mean, definitely it's cheaper to shoot in China. There's no doubt. That's the attraction is there, right? But man, I tell you, you know, I have friends who work there that brag about how long they work without stopping. I have one friend who worked 56 hours straight, and I said, "You did not 56 hours straight? How can you possibly be good?" I mean, you know, don't you get? I mean, you have to get tired, right? 56 hours straight. I can't wrap my mind around it. But I guess it's something you get used to. I mean, you know, human beings are pretty adaptable. So in that sense, you know, I mean, I wish them well. But for me,
you love American.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, that's crazy. I have a new way to look at these movies. So now when I see movies coming from, you know, foreign countries, we got to really respect it because these guys are probably working around the clock to make sure it gets done at a certain time, etc.
Oh, guarantee they're working around the clock. I'm telling you now, there are no unions at all. So, you know, it's kind of interesting, you know, where they you know, everybody do jobs that are kind of crosses over. So, you know, gaffer do some grip stuff do gaffer stuff, and it's like, you know what? It's a little too. I mean, they're really enthusiastic. It's a little too busy for me. I would rather have a calmer set as opposed to being a set that is so hectic. So, but you know, again, it's something you know you get used to, I suppose. But if I don't have to, I'd rather not. Let's put it that way.
You don't have to, you'd rather not, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know what? It turned out to be a great movie. I think everybody should see it. And you did really well. It's like you said it right. It was you and Aquafina basically the entire movie, and it's something to watch. And I really recommend that to a lot of people. I know it's not our fandom base. We're Comic-Con. So
yes. No.
That brings me along the line. Question for you. Have you ever been to a Comic-Con convention?
No, I've never been. Never.
You should go. You're going to love it.
Okay.
Well, Wu Assassins might open that door for you, right?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like every time when I have something that would go to like a Comic-Con, I'm always doing something else for some reason. So So you know how the universe is, man. The universe always have a plan for you. So there must be a reason. So if Wu Assassin is the one that brings me to Comic-Con, then I'll be happy to go.
Well, since you're on Wu
I'm
Assassin,
looking forward to it. I want to see it.
Oh,
yeah.
I think you're going to love it. And I think you're going to notice how hardcore fans you got out there. Because let me tell you something. The Comic-Con fandom, our type of universe fans, they're loyal and die hard. Like, they're different. And maybe the first one will be so overwhelming for you.
Well, you know what? Do you always go?
We go, yeah. We were just in San Diego.
Right.
You know, we support a lot of TV shows, a lot of artists like yourself. This is kind of like our universe. But ever since working on Wu Assassins, do you think you would want to work in more of sci-fi kind of fantasy movies? Or no, you like more of the drama and things like that?
Oh, no, I would love to. Are you kidding me? I could use a turn. I could use do something a little different. Like I had such a great time on Arrival.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You did so good in that movie. I think you would be great in like a Marvel or sci-fi movie.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that. I mean, something that's more fun and more fluid. And I tell you, if I go to Comic-Con and you're there, you could be my guide, man. I wouldn't know what to do there.
Well, my book is coming out in 3 weeks. It's called Comic-Con, and it's basically the ins and outs of the Comic-Con universe. We did a launch at San Diego, and we're going to launch the official book at New York Comic-Con.
So would the book help me? I mean, in terms of, what to look for, what to expect? And, Really?
Everything,
cool.
Everything. Yeah, it's going to get you into the mood of what's going on. But you know what? You're going to get a different treatment than the public. You're going to go there in golf carts and driven around. You're going to get that experience.
Really? I don't mind going as the public. That would be so cool, man. I mean, these guys are, like you said, I've seen pictures and footages and stuff, right? Man, these guys go and dress to the nines, all kinds of costumes.
The cosplayers.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I know.
Not everybody dresses up, but a big percentage does. But it's all a fan fest event, and they really love people like yourself that are in these projects, and they really respect it and adore it. And if you're going to wear a costume based on a character, that means you love them.
No, it's really cool. I mean, shoot. I mean, dress up. What the heck? Why not?
So that leads me to this question, which I ask everyone. Marvel or DC?
Oh, please. Are you kidding? Both, man. I grew up on those comic books. Wow, really? I mean, do you really have to choose?
There you go.
Come on, comic books is our life, man. We grew up on that stuff. Come on. No cool, way, man. I love them. No, I'm serious. Man, are you kidding? Because I used to love to draw myself. I used to copy them. All the Supermans and, Batman and Aquaman and, Silver Surfer and, you name it. I was like, oh, yeah, just keep... Oh,
that's
dude,
pretty rad,
how can
man.
you choose, man?
When we release this episode, we're going to tell everyone you love comic books and stuff like that. So maybe you'll start getting a lot of comic fans following your stuff. That'd be cool.
It would be cool. I mean, who doesn't like comics? I just can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on.
Well, I ask these questions all the time to my guests. I ask them Marvel or DC. I get all sorts of answers. Right. Your answer is very unique because you said you love both. Some people don't want to answer one or two because they're like, what if I get a project for either? Or I don't want to be biased.
No. This is a completely honest answer, man. I mean, man, you throw a comic book in front of me, I'll read it. It's just that simple.
That's
it's
cool.
like...
Hey, man. A newfound love and a newfound love and respect for you. There you go.
Thank you.
We didn't know that Tzi Ma was a comic book lover. That's pretty cool. I'm going to send you a copy of the book, and I'm going to send you a bunch of comics, too, and a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll get in contact with your people, and we'll send you some stuff.
Excellent.
Man. We'll keep it together.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to all of it.
Well, Ty, if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you on social?
Oh, Tzi Ma 8, Tzima 8.
And that's on Instagram.
So the number 8. Yeah. It's Instagram and Twitter. I try to make it simple. I mean, actually, it's not me. My niece tries to make it simple for me.
That's
because Uncle Ty's not that good at this stuff. So
that's cool. She helps you out and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. That's cool.
yeah, no, my niece is the coolest, man. I'm telling you, if I go to Comic-Con, I'm bringing her.
Well, hey, New York Comic-Con's coming up in October. If you're in New York, you get
is
an
that right?
opportunity. Let us know.
Okay, for sure, man. For sure. I mean, I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is a whole new world for me.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big world, Ty, and you belong in it. Come on. We just laid out Lady Killers and Arrival and Wu Assassins and Rush Hour. These are like classic things that...
good. I didn't realize that. I really didn't think it was that. Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad.
Hey, man, it's a cool thing, right?
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gents out there in the fandom universe, Ty is a cool dude. You could get a hold of Ty on Instagram or Twitter. That's TZIMA, the number 8. Follow him, send him some cool messages, send him comic books, drawings, whatever you can. Let's get him into our universe heavy duty, and let's get him hopefully working in a huge fandom project. But check him out on Wu Assassins. It's out now on Netflix. Also, The Farewell, which is a really great movie. And he's going to be in Milan. And I would love to bring you back once Milan comes out, because that's going to be a history-making movie, I think. It's going to be amazing.
It would be my pleasure to come back and speak with you, Galaxy. I mean, this has been so much fun. Wow, man, it's a whole new world for me. Appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you, listeners. I mean, really, I can't be more excited about this stuff. Really.
That's wonderful, Ty. Is there anything you want to tell the fans before we start heading out?
Let's see. Thanks for having me, and thanks for giving me the time to connect with you guys. So I really appreciate that, because without you, I'm nothing.
That's wonderful to hear, Ty. That's amazing. That's so cool of you.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's our time to head out. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your boy Galaxy with the amazing Tzi Ma. Get a hold of him on Instagram, Twitter. That's Tzi Ma, TZIMA, the number 8. Send him some love. And Ty, you ready to blow kisses out to the fandom universe? You ready? 3, 2, 1. Mwah, billion kisses.
Yes.
To the entire world. Thank you for coming on, Ty.
Thanks for having me. Love you, man.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media. Instagram at Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.
Wow, that was so much fun. Dude, you have such great energy, man.
Oh,